Yo, shit is real in the field. Yes. Hit the thumbs up on your way in. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Yo, you know how I do my style, never plays out. Yo, let's go. Let's go, people. Let's go. Right. I've got the live feed up. I did have it up. I definitely had it up. Oh, fucking man, go, son. You go, son. All right, son. Okay, son, baby. All right. All right. Oops, 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 oops. Yeah, big up on to the Mac. What's good? Right. Let me get the old spec savers, innit? Get the old spec savers. All right, my respect savers. You know what I mean? My respect savers. Big up Anthony. Big up Sylvester. Yeah. So following on from the latest events in the world, Angelique Carini, Italian women's boxer. Now, I don't want to really touch upon what the points everybody touch upon. I mean, come on, new angle upon this thing, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, people are talking about whatever description or title you want to call her opponent Khalif. I'm not going to get into that. It's long. It's never going to stop going back and forth. You know what I mean? You say this, you say that. I was going to say this, though. Angela Carini got her nose broken. She lasted 46 seconds into the fight. Now, despite what you want to classify the gender of Iman Khalif, whatever you want to say, however you want to classify it, put yourself in Angela Carini's shoes. Boxing's tough enough as it is. You're having a fight. This ain't sparring, this is an actual fight. Olympics as well. So you're going to be nervous anyway. And then you have the added pressure that you're fighting someone, however you want to describe or classify them, with two chromosomes. Yeah? You're fighting somebody with two chromosomes. Is that fair on Angela? She doesn't know the science. She doesn't know the classification. She doesn't know none of that. She knows how to fight, right? She was good enough to qualify for the Olympics. She knows how to fight. Is that fair? Putting her under so much mental stress, right? How much anxiety did she take into that ring? That's not a normal situation to go into combat. Is that fair? Now, we can argue about what's fair for Imani. We can argue about that. We could talk about that. But what about the girl who got her nose broken and lasted 46 seconds? To me, it sounds like somebody has this warped agenda where they want to see women get pummeled and beaten in the ring. Boxing is tough enough. Peter Fury He just said Savannah Marshall is around 6'1". She's a tall girl, and she weighs around about 13 stones when not in full training for a fight. She weighs around 13 stone. Peter just said, sometimes when dudes are sparring her, and these ain't like top level dudes necessarily, right? Savannah goes over to Peter and says, yo, Peter, he's hitting too hard. He's hitting too hard. Peter has to go to the boxer and tell him, yo, you have to pull your punches a little. You're sparring a girl. You've got to pull your... This is a world championship boxer with a high knockout percentage. She's not an ordinary female boxer, right? This is one of the best. You have to pull your punches or you're going to hurt Savannah really bad. And I still got people arguing, oh, well, she's not a man. Let me tell you, look, I'm just going to keep it real, man. And I'm not going to use no bad language, yeah? There's a lot of people, right? I don't want to attack liberals, right? I don't want to do that, right? But there's a lot of people, right, who think it's okay for them to do whatever they like. You have to accept this. You have to accept that. And you have to accept this. And if you don't, you're from the Stone Age. And listen. And I'm talking for men because I'm a man. Men will do what they have to do to protect their wives, their daughters, sisters, and mothers. If you think men are just going to stand aside and watch you just permit everything to go on and punch out women's heads like that, it's not going to go on. Let's keep it real. It's not going to go on. Yeah? I know some of you are thinking, but yeah, you're right. But if that was my daughter, Beats, and you broke up my daughter's nose with your 2 chromosomes, whatever they want to describe, I know you bitch niggas from way back, payback. Yeah. 100%. 100%, bro. 100%. Remember, like, I don't want to attack liberals because liberalism is good in some instances. But listen, there'll be consequences. There will be consequences. Will be consequences. Listen. There's going to be certain men who are going to see their daughter come home from that sparring, nose broken, or from that fight, or she goes to the gym to learn how to defend herself, and they've got men sparring her, punching her. Someone's going to get fucking taken out. And oh, look how horrible that. Hey, I tell you what. A lot of people have tolerated a lot of shit, and for the sake of getting on to get along, they haven't said shit. But there comes a point. There comes a point where enough is enough. Where enough is enough. Yeah? Enough is enough. That's not how man flex. Man don't flex to watch people just run rap shod all over the place and do what they want. Under the guidance of what? Like what's going on here? Big up Coleman, his headpiece. Big up Jermaine C. There'll be repercussions. You keep this shit going. There's gonna be repercussions. There will be repercussions. If life carries on this way here, it's gonna be repercussions. Anthony says men should not be fighting women in a ring, period. But this goes towards the decay of society right now. I'm telling you. Anthony Mackin. On Linford, he still has his medals and records. He was exonerated by UK Athletics. Only the International Olympic Committee kicked up a stink and banned him. He was retired at the time. It was a meaningless race. Yeah, like I saw the doc, Anthony. I saw it. Big up. Ichaku. Big up, big up, big up, man. Big up Kevin Opoku. Yeah. Yeah. Big up Emmanuel. Just listen to your Joe Joyce Next Step video. Top stuff. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Big up Bruce Gass. Does this mean if I identify as a woman, I can use the ladies' room? Did you see? I see someone get torn apart the other. This is what I'm saying about repercussions. Some dude followed this woman into a bathroom and didn't realize she was with her boyfriend, right? Because a lot of people are taking liberties in this. Yo, her boyfriend nearly killed that guy, bro. Nearly killed him. Man got murked. Man got murked. There's repercussions. There's always, if you do wrong, always potential repercussions. I'm not preaching. I'm not trying to be I'm better than anyone or anything. If you do wrong to people, there's always potential repercussions. Always. It's not a joke. That's biblical, bro. That shit biblical. That's biblical. Yeah? That's biblical. Peter Fury said he has to tell certain guys, pull your... And so imagine, right? The majority of women's fighters who are not as strong as Savannah, who are not as good, who don't punch as hard, who can defend themselves as well as Savannah. Imagine what chance they would have sparring dudes. Like Anthony Mackin said, Gervonta Davis would... Yeah. See, the thing is, Anthony, yeah? Floyd Schofield's dad said Gervonta weighs how much? Outside camp? About the same weight as Savannah. He'd take her head off. He would take her head off. It wouldn't even be funny. Who remembers when what was his name? Victor Chinian was sparring Ronda Rousey. This was at the time when they were saying Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather in a fight. What weight did Vic fight? Vic wasn't he fly? What? No, not fly. Victor Chinian. He was a little under bantamweight or something like that. Remember Daenerys knocked him. He was a good fight. Vic was really good. Vic was really good. Vic was really good. And he toyed. He was playing with Ronda. He was playing with Ronda. Could you imagine what Mayweather, like, listen, forget, you can bring all your MMA skills and whatever. If you go in that ring with Mayweather, Ronda Rousey, arm bars or anything, listen, you're getting punched up. You're getting punched up. Bad. The irony of it all is Clarissa Shields. She's had a lot to say. Women's supposed to fight women, men supposed to fight men. Yeah, but she's the one keep calling out Keith Thurman and calling out dudes, saying she can beat up dudes. That's why you need to know your place and be realistic with this shit. Because a lot of I've seen online. You know what they're doing? They're attacking the girl who got beaten. Hey, look how she's complaining and moaning. Can't take it that she lost. They're attacking the girl who got her nose broken. And a lot of the, listen, a lot of this partly is because a lot of women, and I'm not saying women need to stay in their place and be subservient, or I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Not at all, right? But there's a lot of women posting up on guys. Yeah, I'm just as tough as you. I'm just as hard. I'm just as this and this and that. So the empathy a lot of women would have got previously when fighting dudes or people with XY chromosome is not at the same level it is now. Because there's a lot of men who are saying, well, boy, you want to act like a man? Take licks like a man. That's what a lot of dudes are saying. This world, I'm telling you, Anthony, it's in a bad place. It's in a bad place. Phil Larkin, a woman will die because of this, and people will turn around and make it was an unforeseen tragedy. Exactly. To be bros. To be, and big up. I don't know what a comment about and dogs. I'm not too sure what that's connected to. Yeah, the last Olympic boxing tournament we'll be seeing, it looks like, Bruce. Yeah. Anthony says we're in the last days and Satan is running amok. Expect worse to come. This is just the start. Boy. Let me tell you this now. The world is spiraling out of control. And you know what it is? There's no chill. There's no rest. There's no cooling off period. The world is running at full tilt consistently all the time. You know, it doesn't shut off. I remember when my old man had the off license, we would probably be, let's say 10:30, some days 11 was close. Can't remember, maybe Saturday 11, I don't know. But 10:30 normally. We would be maybe the only business in the immediate surrounding hood that would be open. And after 11, that's it. That's it. And you know what, right? When I used to live in Totters, yeah, it used to be a big deal that there used to be these shops at Finsbury Park who would open all night. And when I say open, not like legally, you'd have to kind of like know where to go around a sort of side, and you could get a bit of alcohol, a bit of cigarettes, and a bit of whatever late. And that used to be a big deal. Yeah, we can go up there. And yo, it's about fucking mile and a half away. And if we're in no whip, yeah, to get the bus or whatever, yeah. That used to be a big deal. But now, not only can you get 24-hour openings, like social media never closes, television never closes. It does. There's no shut off at all. There's no shut off. So it's almost like there's no day, there's no night, there's no morning. It's just one continuous. I remember being a lad, and when it got to the evening, the pace of the city slowed down. It slowed. Yeah? It slowed up. Even the TV cut off at what time? It slowed up. And I think like It's important to have that, all right, it's time to sleep now. Like, people's sleep patterns must be totally screwed. Mine ain't that good. Mine are not that good. And the reason our sleep patterns are really fucked up is because we've got devices and screens next at all times. Back in the day, TV, like, you get Open University that used to stay up till early morning, but nobody's watching that unless you're a university body, you're studying one of the flipping um, classes or whatever. Yeah, you don't watch Open University. Back in the day, all right, that film's finished, that program's finished. TV, if you can see the Queen, you can hear the la, 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 and TV's gonna shut off, and now it's time to rest and get up in the morning. It was a uniform routine for most of the country, and it's important that you get that time to recharge and rethink and chill and then go again. It's important, especially for children. Especially for children. But right now, this 24/7 full tilt rush. What's the rush? Where are you going? Where are we going? What's the destination that it has to go full tilt every second? Why? Why exactly? Why? What's the rush? If you tell me a destination where shit is going, then I might have a more of an understanding about it. What's going on? Crazy. World is. I'm telling you, man. Telling you, man. Mr. Doc, what's good? Yeah, the stabbing incident the other day. What was that about? You're stabbing it like what? Like, see, that's a kid who's just struggling with modern day. You know, with the demands of modern day, just struggling. Probably ain't got no girl. Probably just socially awkward. Probably maybe got bullied and beaten up. What's going on? And we've got, listen, the riots are starting on the road now, bro. Riots are starting on the road. It's not safe for nobody. Kevin, he says that beats. We are seeing it now. Look at how many stories have happened in the last 2 weeks. Oh yeah, big up Mr. Doc. Big up Mr. Doc. Big up Mr. Doc. Let me go to the super chat section. Big up Anthony Mackin. Appreciate the super chat. If Jesus doesn't exist, then Dag Nyam would supper down ya. I've been saying this for at least 10 years. No one down here had any answers. Nah, they don't. There are no answers here. You're right. You're right. Appreciate the super chat. There are no answers. Technology is not the answer. It's not the answer. Not saying it ain't good. Not saying it ain't great. Not saying, I don't take advantage of it. But it's not the answer. Riots. You know, the immigration thing, like, I tell you. Telling you, man. Yeah, it's cause for concern. Yeah, super bantam, Mr. Doc. Super bantam. Yeah? Super bantam. I mean, listen, forget the Darchinian, right? If Nonito Delaire cracks any of them, even Clarissa Shields, I don't care how big you, and other words, if Nonito Delaire cracks any of them, right, with his full blood, he knocks them fucking sparks in. He's one of the hardest punchers in lower weight history. He'll do severe damage. Severe damage. And he's a little small dude. Yeah, very crude but awkward. Yeah, Vic wasn't no joke, man. Vic wasn't no joke. Vic wasn't no joke. Anthony Mackin said the streets will never forget what Linford meant to black Brits. I saw a lot of parallels with Linford's treatment in the press and how AJ's treated. Yeah, yeah. People think that these black guys don't have feelings. Yeah, Linford got. Did you see when his kids were crying when he relived his runnings with the press? His kids started crying because, like, oh man. I don't know, bro. I'm staying on to the turn. I'll put a link in if anyone wants to chat. You can chat. You can chat, man. Yeah, we can't put the genie back in the bottle, unfortunately. Though. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you what, man. Social media and the internet. Like, I tell you what. I can't put this link up for some reason. It won't let me highlight the link. Okay. Twitter, Facebook. They've got all these sites. And these people just upload videos of people getting knocked out, robbed, pranked, beaten up. And do you realize what damage this is doing to the mental health of society? It's doing severe damage, desensitizing us to a whole load of fuckery. Just pure damage. This is how life used to be. I'm not saying life was perfect either. It had its issues. Yeah? Had its issues. But life used to pace itself out. It used to pace itself out in a way that was manageable. This ain't happening now. Too much information, overkill, too much entertainment, way too much, way too much, way too much, way too much. No switch off, no cut off point. Mr. Duck, he says, not saying it's good or bad or indifferent at boxing beats and rhymes, but my dad told my sister that if she attacked a man, don't come crying to him if she gets beat up. Well, that's old school in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if she's defending herself, yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, it's hard. But that's how a lot of old school dads, you know what I mean, would raise their daughters. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of old school dads would raise their daughters. And that's why these women are not getting a lot of empathy in some of the situations they're getting in. They're not getting no empathy. Sad. Big up Box to Adams. Drop a link. Yeah, I've dropped a link, man. I've dropped a link. I've got Mr. Duck.
Yo. We got beats.
What's up, Mr. Duck?
Not to pat myself on the back too much, but this is why. Like, for one, I remember when Twitter came out, right? And I don't pretend like, I'm not going to pretend like I had any specific insight, you know what I mean, Beats? But I just had this gut feeling, right? Nah, you know what I mean? Something about it put me off, and I never got a Twitter account, and you know what I mean. The longer I go without one, the better I feel about it. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you though, I think you see you've put into words in amazingly simple terms too, what I've been spending maybe the last 15 years, ever since Twitter came out, however long that is, right? Trying to really pin down what was it, right? That you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's where it's the constant 24/7, you know what I mean, demand. Whatever
Yeah.
of whatever on the person. I think no. Maybe it's because I was, like I said, I grew up out in the fucking woods on some Grizzly Adams shit, right? So maybe that's part of why I'm, wired maybe a little differently. I like, you know what I mean? Like you said, when the sun goes down,
Yeah.
hey, time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
When the sun goes down,
yeah, shit,
like
shit turns off, Yeah, and you don't realize it till it's been taken away from us how important that is, right? It's one of them kind of things, you know. I don't think it's not like
it's
anybody. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
taking away our peace of mind.
Right, and like you said, the chance to, more importantly, the chance to, how to put it, for lack of a better term, rebuild, you know, each evening or whatever, right? Your peace of mind, whatever. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. You gotta, you have to rest. Number one, people like you hit another nail on the head. The sleep patterns,
If you're
right?
not on the pulse of everything, like it kind of you're missing out. No, you're not, man. No, you're not. You know.
If it means I don't have a damn heart attack, you know what I mean, at 65, like my grandfather, uh, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that means I'm checked out, then I'm checked out. You get me? I'm just not going to be a slave to social. I'm not going to be a slave to social media. I decided that right when it started. No, 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 no. You know what I mean? There's value.
Let me
Sorry,
just
go ahead.
catch the super chat, Doc. Big
Yeah,
up
yeah.
Jazz Fun 22. Much appreciated for the super chat. Big yourself up. Big yourself up. Yeah, like Sundays back in the day, like all the
Bruh,
shops,
nothing was open.
nothing was
With the
open,
regard,
man.
forget your beliefs, right? Just
Yeah,
nothing was open. There was football. Now we had American football. That was a constant, at least through my entire lifetime. You did have that, right? That was actually what most people did on Sundays, where I grew up. In my time, was we were watching American football, gridiron, you call it.
yeah, yeah. Like Sunday, like shops close up very early, and then that was it. You could literally go nowhere and get anything, yeah, right? And
Yep.
you'd be inside, what like do whatever you're doing with your family. Have Sunday dinner. Them days, families used to sit around a table and have dinner,
Yep.
and then you just chill and rest. Then Monday, you know what I mean? Like, and like because of the tranquility that nothing's happening, it's quiet, you just rest. You rest. And
Yeah, yeah. Even
rest
if you're
and think.
doing things I was, I was a kid, so like, I might go wandering off with my dog off in the woods, exploring or whatever. But it's not some kind of, I'm doing it, you know what I mean, as a natural compulsion, not as some kind of pressure being, what I mean, put on me to do it.
Yeah,
So even when it's a combination of things. It's it's well, rest is necessary. Sleep patterns is one part of it, right? But I also think people need time to just kind of, do whatever comes to them. Like, you know what I mean? Even if that means sitting and doing nothing for some people, right? It's, going to vary a little bit. Everybody needs just some, just time to do whatever the fuck. Right? Where there's not that pressure of whether it's, like it used, going back to what, carrying on your narrative. All right, you get older, you have a job, right? You work your 8 hour shift, right?
yeah,
Maybe you got your hour, but if you got a really, shitty commute, maybe it's, turns into 10 hours. But bottom line, outside of that, you know what I mean? You got, back in the day, your TV shows. Maybe you had the DVR if you're really cool, right? To capture your whatever it is you wanted to watch, right? You remember the DVRs, Beats?
well, VHS over here.
Well, no. This was after the DVD players. The DVRs, they were the things you could program them, and they would record digitally your this, that, or the other show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That was like early 2000s, I would say.
Oh
So
yeah,
my
yeah,
point,
yeah,
my,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and so I was living in Nevada in the early 2000s, and I had friends in Utah, right? Even in the early 2000s, in Utah, forget Sunday. The whole weekend beats. Nothing open. Nothing open, bro.
Yeah,
Nothing.
that's it. No, there's nothing
Nothing.
open. Nothing
And,
open.
and after 10 o'clock, probably even on the weekdays at the latest 10 o'clock, right? Nothing open. Maybe the gas
I'll be honest
station, you
with
know.
you.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
honest with you. When I was young, right, I used to get depressed on Sundays. I used to
Mm.
feel really depressed, right? Because like it was really quiet. All the church stuff. Not being funny, I couldn't handle a lot of the church TV and
Oh yeah.
school the
Me
next
either.
day. I used to get depressed on Sundays. Yeah, I used to get depressed, and even now,
Well,
like
when the gridiron was when the last like because Sunday night you might catch like a late Sunday night game if I was lucky and over at my grandparents where they had cable or some shit, right? But yeah, I get you totally. And then it's like, oh fuck, you got to go to school. But you see, you're just like, you know what I mean? Taking in the game. You're not sitting there taking in the game. Plus, you got your phone and you're posting about the game on Twitter in real time and you know what I mean? And going back, trying to bring this all together, right? Back full circle to your point of the constant pressure. You know?
yeah, Jazz Funk said we had big match Sunday. Brian Moore. Yeah. They took that, and then what happened? Like Big Match played a lot of the games from Saturday on Sunday. Match of the day was on Saturday, and then I tell you what was part of the change in society when they started putting football matches on Sunday. Right, I remember Tottenham was the first televised football game on Sunday. I can't remember who we played, but it's when we had I think probably Alan Sugar days. I think it's probably Alan Sugar, right? That changed a lot of stuff. Football on Sundays, football on Mondays. Like before, you'd get FA Cup replays maybe on a Monday and weekdays, but all this weekday football, Sunday football, that was part of the change of how we were structuring our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because that
sorry,
was
let
when
me
you
just
had
finish
the.
quick.
Oh,
Let me just
sorry.
finish up quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like on Saturday, yeah, everybody played on Saturday. Like old First Division, every team played on Saturday. Now you'll get a certain amount of teams play Saturday, then Sunday, then Monday. Then it used to be every team played on Saturday. Old school was
Ah.
just pure football. So it was very uniform. Saturday is football day, but now football day is weekday, this, that. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Yeah.
European games used to be played in the weekdays, but now it's just
It's interesting you
everything
say.
is free
Now that
game.
you got
Everything
me
is fair
thinking.
game.
Yep, you got me thinking. So, like, okay, so I think I tend to view most of these things, just to put my own biases out front. I tend to think of these things in terms of bell curves because that's how usually it works, right? Technology, like as an example, because that's kind of a big part of what we're talking about. There's, to a certain point, it's increasing benefits, right? And then past a certain point, you get diminishing returns, right? The bell curve. It goes up and then it goes down. I think it was one thing for, like, okay, for example, in America, it used to be when I was growing up, college football was Saturday, pro football was Sunday, right? Unless you were still like one of the groups that were serious about going to church, right? Where I lived, it was kind of there was people there. We had a couple of churches, but nothing like you might have seen in like the Midwest, for example, or the Bible. They call it the Bible Belt, right? Anyways, there was that change, but I really do think it was when it all became 24/7 is where I think we hit the tipping point. I think in hindsight, all of that was kind of, I guess, technologically a herald, you know. but I don't know. I don't know if that's quite what. We hadn't quite gone completely off the rails like we have. I think it's the 24/7 pressure thing is where I think that's the real culprit to me.
Yep. Like now they're looking at the fallout for kids with these androids,
Mm.
smartphones. I mean, it's like their eyesight, neurological function, their social development. But these things should have been looked at a time. See, the thing is, I mean, like when kids used to walk around with them handheld Game Boys, even then they used to say, "Oh, you shouldn't play that too long; it's dangerous and this and that." But the
Well,
phone,
even before that, remember the Walkman? I don't know if people, that's
yeah,
the cassette Walkman, right? Teachers used to get mad if you brought the Walkman to school, right? You know what I mean? Now it's built into your phone that you're
yeah,
attached to 24/7.
exactly. You just get your
So yeah.
earpiece, and yeah, and you got everything on there: videos, music, email, this, there, like websites, everything.
So
And
okay, I got a thought for you, Beats, because you're from a musical background. There's an old saying. Tell me what you think of this. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head. Limitations force creativity. Whether they're
yeah,
technical limitations, right, or any kind of limitations, force creativity. Would you agree with that?
oh, 100%, yeah, 100%,
Okay. I think we are living in. I think what's part of what you and I are perceiving is that we are living in one of the most limitless periods of time in human history, and that has benefits too. I'm not, again, I'm not here to be like, Mr. Socially, I'm a high school dropout, okay? I don't have any kind of social degrees or none of that. I'm just, making observations and talking to beats, right? But yeah, that's what I see, man. That's what I see.
yeah, 100%. Like when you haven't got like this excess of technology, you've got to be creative in your own space with your people around you. Like what I mean, like kids used to make go karts, skateboards, bikes, all types of stuff. Fix
Oh,
their
even
bike.
or something else beats even down to socialization. Hey, you know something? You were stuck. You to some extent you were stuck with the motherfuckers that were in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
right.
what
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
I mean? And sometimes it was even a case of like I remember like where I grew up, it was about what bus you rode on, right? And like there would be times where it was like, okay, no, 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 hang on, you don't get to mess with him. He might be an asshole, but he's our asshole, right? You were stuck with who you know what I mean, had around you, who you could get to with the bicycle, maybe, if you're lucky. Eh? And that forced you though, all you and the other party, you get me to maybe be, I think, maybe be more socially creative, right? To go back to stick to our point here. Am I making sense?
yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%, man. Hundred
Okay, yeah,
percent.
yeah. I think these are all things that I don't think anybody like. I don't think there are things that were easily predictable, but it's like, oh, in hindsight, yeah, an adjustment is going to forget have to be made. An adjustment is going to be made. That's just nature.
Mr. Ben is asking how long before men versus women in boxing. Imagine Tank versus Tank. This is Taylor. Okay. Guzzy, having a PC at home was a good thing. Having it in your pocket 24/7 hasn't done society any good. No, it hasn't. H from the UK, he made a good point earlier as well, but I'll pick that. He said, 3, 8, and 2nd. God bless the seventh day and sanctified it. That, sorry, where did it go? Good comment. Your comments like the error, right? He had rested from all his work which God created and made. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, it's not random. These days weren't random. That you slow up. Sunday, you slow up. You turn the pace down. You know what I mean? You know. This high-speed shit. It's like it's flipping maddening, man. H from the UK. He said the Most High made a day for rest. Rest is a spiritual thing. It is a spiritual. It is. It is, man. It is. It is. It draws the savageness out of you. It draws the savagery from out of your spirit, man. You know what I mean? And now they won't allow you to rest. Oh, another violent video, another this, another prank thing. Oh, another red pill, another feminist, another this, another woman versus man. Well, now women are getting beaten up by men, but just 24/7 riot, this, that, woman stabbing, this, just like, you don't stop. This ain't healthy. This ain't healthy, bro. Big up Jazz Funk. This is great works. Yeah. Big up Anthony Mackin. He says they are turning us into automatons. Automatons. I have to look up that one there, Annie. Automatons. Automatons. A movie. Oh, automaton. Automaton, a moving mechanical device made in imitation of a human being. Collection of 19th century French automata, acrobats, clowns, and musicians. A machine which performs a range of functions according to predetermined set of coded instructions. Sophisticated automatons continue to run factory assembly lines, used in comparisons to refer to a person who seemed to act in a mechanical or emotional way, like an automaton. She walked to the door. Yeah, man, it's just. H.
Yeah, man, bless up, man. Bless up, man. No, man, just saying, man, seen you live, man. So I thought, I seen the link, I jump on. What's the combo, man?
Well, you hear what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, I heard that, man. Yeah, I just dropped my piece, man. Obviously, you probably can tell, like, I'm a Bible believing person. So, me personally, I just think at the end of the day, the Most High has already created life to move a certain way. And when we can see how the world's moving, it's moving in a, how can I say, in a more opposite way. So I look at it, the Most High has already created life that we should rest on a specific day.
Right.
So as I dropped the precepts before with Genesis 2 chapter 3. But how life is now, just like with all civilizations what want to grow bigger and grow better and be stronger, you can't rest. And we see now how that's affecting the psyche of man, especially with this liquid poison or this digital poison of social media. The dopamine effect of being plugged into social media is probably the worst thing to ever happen to man at this point in time, man. How it's affecting children's brains, in especially now they brought out the shorts as well. With the shorts, like it just lowers your attention span
What's the
dramatically.
shorts? What's the shorts? What are the shorts?
Oh, like TikTok videos.
Oh, I
TikTok
get what you
videos.
say. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like they've done
How
studies on
old
it.
are you, bro? How old? What age range are you? You don't have to give you a specific age.
I'm 30. I'm 31. You know, I'm 31.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So I probably say I'm coming up to middle age. I probably say 30 is like when you start reflecting on certain things. I'd say that. So yeah, just one of them.
Like,
I just look at things. Sorry, go on, bro.
no, I'm just you did like you see back in the day, like maybe before you were born. Most people didn't work on Saturdays. There wasn't much Saturday work when I was a kid. There wasn't much people worked on Saturday. It was just Monday to Friday. Most of the work was Monday to Friday, and most people had the whole weekend off.
Mm.
And if you
But
did
see,
work of one of them weekend days, you were getting paid big bucks for it. You know what I mean? It was big bucks jobs that had only the big bucks jobs, or you were doing like serious overtime.
yeah, serious overtime, man. Like again, like officially, like is we talking biblically, Saturday is the day of rest. But we won't go into that, man. But
Okay, that's
nah,
interesting.
Hey, no, that doesn't. You're not throwing me off at all. My ex-wife was a Seventh Day Adventist
Okay.
yeah,
from Belize. If you want to get really, I mean, we can get all kinds of complicated here. No problem, right?
that's
I'm an agnostic, okay, and always was, and we were just we never had a problem. I would go with her to church sometimes if she was like, hey, you mind coming with me? Nah, no problem. It's because
that's cool.
I always found it interesting. 'Cause she had like this awesome collection of oh God, what are they called? Bible commentaries. So it's like
Oh, Ellen White,
it's
Ellen
like a
White.
giant book, right? It's like a giant book explaining or elaborating on just one section, right? If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's,
What yeah, you get what I'm saying. And
yeah, it's,
I've always been a reader. And so yeah, that was and a creative person. So all of that stuff was, even if I, you know what I mean, don't see all of it as particularly useful for me. That I don't have any. I definitely recognize in other people in my life, right, where it is like not just useful but necessary. Like if you took that away from them, right, those people are going to have problems. So I'm very agnostic. That's what agnostic means. I don't know, right? That's what it means. I'm not here to tell you that God don't exist or does exist. I'm just saying, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You
I
see
hear
what
you. Yeah,
you see what
I
they're
hear
saying
you.
in the comment section, yeah?
Mm.
I used to draw all the time as a kid. I used to do a whole load of drawing. I even went into some competitions
See,
and said,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Writing. I used to. I can't remember now that you mention it. The last time I sat down and physically wrote, because I've got a keyboard and a computer, you know what I mean, and a printer and all that, right? It's like, yeah, I see. These are things to think about. It's not so much because I don't want to sound like a luddite. I don't think it's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is not the technology or any single thing. The biggest single thing to me is that 24/7 pressure beats. That's the thing that I think is universally negative for everybody because we are just not wired biologically. No human is. Yeah, I mean, and I think maybe it's like if anything from the old school fed into it, it would be like maybe from where I live, anyways, West Coast America. It was that dang cocaine and alcohol culture of the 70s and 80s because everybody had a liquor cabinet when I was growing up, right? And everybody's parents were on the yayo beats. I'm just being honest, right? It didn't matter whether they were good parents, bad parents, rich parents, poor parents, okay? I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying. This is, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
This is part of the thing. And it's like, okay, well, I can see a natural segue there from that, because that's a bit of a 24/7 culture. If you want to include amphetamines in that, especially, right? Well, and then along comes social media, and you're gonna think you beats my. I think you might get this. It's very similar in what it does neurochemically. It's about dopamine hits. You're getting dopamine hits, whether it's off the yayo, right, or off your social media, or a combination thereof. It's about the dopamine drops in your brain. That's what keeps people coming back, right? And why they stay up and to the point where they're, you know what I mean? No, you should be sleeping, but no. They keep going because of the dopamine hits.
100%. And someone mentioned in the comment as well about that pornography, man. That's another thing. That's a killer, man. That is destroying.
Dopamine, but it's fundamental, though. The fundamental thing is still the same. It's dopamine hits, see?
Mm-hmm. No, it just goes back to what you were saying and what Beats is saying. There's so many things to keep you plugged into this matrix, whether it's social media, whether it's drugs, whether it's pornography, whatever it is. So many things to keep you plugged in that you don't actually
I
switch off.
can't, dude. I can't believe actually that things have held together as well as they have, because I find it draining, and I'm not even that connected. I make a point to stay disconnected, right? And I find it draining. I don't know how, for example, my sister's kids. I don't know how they do it. Like, do you ever sleep? Like, you know, like, nah, man. I need my rest. I value my rest, I guess. You know what it is? The more this goes on, and as I get older, it's probably a function of both time and age. I value my rest. Beats. I value my rest.
It's to do with that. It's sorry, go on, bro.
Yeah,
I'm talking over you.
Kazi said AI is the next big revolution. Enough people are going to lose their jobs. I tell you what, right? I was watching Good Morning Britain, and they had Dr. Hillary on there, and he was saying something. He was talking about something. They showed a little video of him talking, and then we found out that it wasn't actually him. It was AI, and his lips are moving. He's talking, and everybody thought it was a real video. It was all flipping simulated. It was all simulated, and like this is the deception now. This is what we're heading into, right? Is this AI deception? You're going to be hearing.
And
sorry.
Sorry. I thought
you're going to be getting a lot of that now, like people coming out saying things, and it's going to cause propaganda. A lot of it will obviously be backtracked when you find out it's fake, but a lot of it is going to influence a lot of behavior and agendas, and then you go from that. You got all these prank videos. There's always a prank video out there, a prank video, or you've got a video like guy and the woman is at the restaurant. Oh, he's not paying because he's not getting any sex and this and then you find out it's all made up. So everything is going the way of let's program them to believe things that are not really true. This is what, and that's always been happening. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like they used to do all the subliminal advertising in the cinema when they flashed the hot dog, and they put a lot of suggestions.
Yeah.
But now the technology is going to allow that to, like really accelerate, and it's getting to a point, man. Even like your bank details on a phone, like people like hacking people's accounts, it's just crazy right now, man. It's just flipping. That's crazy. Like it's such a distrustful and dishonest place. It's always been like that, but maybe I'm exaggerating. It's just fucked up.
No, it's highlighting. What it is it's amplifying, because there is always inherent. Look, man, right? What does everybody think happened the first time two previously unrelated groups of cavemen came together? Somebody got their head caved in with a rock, right? Right? Because this is the way, human nature, right? Going back to prehistoric times. So, and we had to work to improve on that, obviously, I would like to think.
Say that again, Doc.
I'm saying what is happening is the inherent mistrust, right, that is in all of us, because we're mistrustful creatures. Because back in the day, if tribe X and tribe Y were from too far away, there would be diseases that each were immune to that they would commune to the others. You get me? That's just one, obvious biological reason for the way that humanity evolved, right? There's a natural sense of mistrust. Social media is taking this like, for lack of a better term, fundamental, deep-seated, natural mistrustful thing that all of us have, that we've collectively worked on for generations, if not eons, to kind of, how to put it, we've sanded off the rough edges, at least, right? It's not gone, but we've at least sanded down the rough edges a bit in most places, right? But it's bringing it back, Beats. You get me? It's like It's undoing. I've said this before. I honestly feel, Beats, like I'm literally watching a bunch of progress suddenly go backwards. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like socially speaking. You know what I mean? Like
And
I'm
all,
talking like from the 70s to 2000, right? It, a whole bunch of progress, and then suddenly social media comes along, and all of a sudden, you know what I mean? The tape starts playing in reverse.
Sorry, let me just do a couple of comments. Jerome Blake says, lately I've found I had to shut off my phone just so I can get some deep focus working. As I've got older, I'm more mindful of my peace and well-being. Yeah, yeah, it's important that you get that time in between your thoughts, work, and your phone. Yeah, 100%, 100%, man. Mr. Ben, he says, 43% black players, 4% coaches. In other news, Steve Bruce was in the frame to be Jamaican coach. I think it's not Bruce. What's his name? It's Alex Ferguson's number two. What's his name? Steve McLaren. It's McLaren. It wasn't Bruce. It's McLaren. Yeah, I think he's actually Jamaican. I think he actually got the post. The Jamaican coach. Yeah, yeah. Well, blacks have always been misrepresented in the management, in the boardroom, but you know,
that makes sense though. Why they're misrepresented anyway? It's to do with what's the word? What is the word colonialism? Or it's in that's it. It's sorry. It's inherited conscious bias. That's the word I'm
Yeah,
looking for.
well. What happens is what you're describing exacerbates well, like, for example, in America, I'm just going to use America because I don't know, you know what I mean, what the numbers are like over there. But what you're describing, yeah, absolutely. What it does is it exacerbates what is already a imbalance just in terms of numbers, right? You know, you're only a small percentage of the population. But oh, by the way, have all this extra nonsense, to go with that.
Exactly, man.
Jerome Blake, he said he's right. The Sabbath is officially from sunset on Friday to sunset on Saturday. But to be honest, God is cool with you taking Saturday or Sunday as rest. The specification isn't so important about obedience. Okay. Anthony Mackin says social media is idolatry, plain and simple. Online pornography is high level demonology. Yeah, can't argue with that. Real one. My kids don't read a book for shit. 18 and 14 only read what they have to as far as school and college. Yeah.
Oh my God,
You know
beats.
something, right?
Yeah.
Like, see, in my early 20s, I dated this Russian girl,
Hmm.
and she fucking put me through the ringer. You don't read. And she would bring books, and I was
Oh yeah.
like, that really kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, start reading some books, man. Start reading books. It's important.
Get this, beats. My dad, right? So him and my grandfather, they had these lifetime subscriptions to National Geographic, right? And as a consequence of that, they would get these free like coffee table books and book sets and things like that, right? Like one, for example, that I really loved as a kid was this giant, big square book with these awesome glossy pages called R.E. Anyways, my dad got this giant leather-bound set of Louis Alamore books, and Louis Alamore was a boxer. You can look him up, all right? Louis L'Amour. So like Louis and then L apostrophe L'Amour, whatever. Anyways, he was a boxer, writer, etc., and he wrote these about like he wrote westerns, right? But not he was more like he got really deep into like trying his best to really learn about what the different like Indian cultures, for example, and whatnot were. So when you read one of his books, you weren't just getting, you know what I mean, cowboys and Indians. You got like you know, a little bit of history and sociology and all. Anyways, my dad had me like under, you know, to be fair, it was, he put the fear of God into me, huh? But he had me reading before I was in kindergarten beats,
Yeah, yeah,
reading
yeah.
books like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, as in it needed to be done, you know, or else. He
Yeah.
came to me. He came to me and he like out of nowhere he's like, okay, this is like, I can remember the summer before kindergarten. So, did you read Sackett? That was the name of the book, Sackett. Oh, okay. And I can still remember the main character's name, Cap Roundtree, because I was so, you know what I mean? Oh shit, I had to be, because I knew the old man was going to quiz me later on, right? Just, you know what I mean? I'd been through it. I'd been through it enough times with them. But I'm just saying the not disconnect, the difference, right? I was being, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, you need to read before kindergarten, and this guy's talking about his kids, and I'm sure he's the truth. They probably don't need books, beats. They can find it all on the internet if they want to, you know, look hard enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not
See, but
not
the thing is,
everything's
though,
an
see, the thing is, though, right? It's not just the reading, right? For let's say for a kid, it's actually making that trip, walking,
Right.
riding your bike to the library, and actually like you know picking up the book, reading it. Like it's like you getting fed an ebook and stuff. It's not the same. You don't retain the information the same as reading.
Well, and when you went to the library, beats, at least this was my experience. When I would go to the library, inevitably, I would, in the process of searching for whatever I went there for, I would run across other shit that would catch my eye. You know what I mean? That I elsewise would have never, you know what I mean, thought of or spent my time on. And I think that's one of the shortfalls with like social media, the internet, etc. Right? Is on the one hand, yeah, it's great in terms of you can find what you're looking for, but that experience of being at the library or the bookstore and scanning through the section that you know is going to have what you're looking for and happening to notice this, that, or the other thing. I think that's kind of one of the other things that's gone missing.
You know, like even music, like people into music, like they set the time aside Saturday morning. Go to just get a travel card and just go to several record shops through London just to pick up your stuff. You're a DJ, or even if you're just a casual listener. And people used to do that. And people used to
Dude,
do that
we used to
rather than
go.
you get fed these streams and like that. It's not the same. Like you actually going out there, putting the headphone on. Yo, what's that record there? What's that there? And you know what I mean? And like
When I was playing, when I
collecting your
started.
own material. Sorry, Doc. Sorry.
Oh, so I thought you were done. I apologize. I apologize.
Like just collecting your own material and your own collection, and you actually develop a repertoire with your collection. But you don't get that attachment. You don't get that attachment. You just fed everything. You fed everything. And I guess that's some of the issues I had with certain artists they're bigging up these days. So you're just getting fed everything. You're getting fed everything. You know what I mean? Well, how much are you actually going out there, like actually going to shows and listening to like who could really spit, who could really make beats? What's it? You going seminars or anything like that? No, you're doing none of that. They probably don't even hold them like that no more. So
I'll be
it's
honest. I was gonna
yeah,
say, I'll be
go on.
honest. I'll
Oh,
be honest. The artists these days are just trash, man. And
so much fakery. Even in
um,
like, I don't know about the, you know, forgive me, beats your genre of music, but like that you've worked in, right? But in my genre of music, right, it's become a big divisive thing. You know, like because of backing vocal tracks and click tracks and all this stuff, and during live shows, right? And you know what I mean? Like at least with, you know, the sort of what they called it, the British wave of heavy metal in the early '80s, right? In that style of thing, one of the fundamental selling points was you're able to do what you put on the record live without any bells or whistles. You know what I mean? You got real skills, and that mattered. It mattered. I don't
I
know that it
agree.
matters. I don't know that it matters all that much anymore. And again, I'm not trying to be judgy. I see it's the difference I perceive.
I'd say just because you guys are probably older than me, the difference was that the music in your era had the actual consciousness and reality to it, and it was natural. So I don't listen to rock music or like Queen or anything, but I can appreciate the percussion behind it and the development. Then you've got like reggae music as well. You got Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Of
You got
course,
Garnet
yeah,
Silk.
yeah.
You got the actual aura of these guys. It's like it's coming from their soul, regardless
Well,
whether it
some
was.
people use words like heavy, right? And it's a misnomer in some ways because, for me, anyways, and all the musicians that I respect that I was ever around person to person, heavy isn't really, it isn't bound to one genre or another. Get Up Stand Up is a heavy song. Redemption Song, that's heavy. You know what I mean? It's a heavy subject. Man, talking about, taken from the slave ship and whatnot. Yeah? Talking about Bob
Yeah,
Marley. Redemption Song.
yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's a heavy song, even though um, um, it's not instrumentally heavy per se. Right?
You can feel it, but that's the difference now. I
That's what I'm
think
saying.
now.
It's like yeah, that part of it has gotten lost. It's like, okay, they're very good at you know, making the tracks sound heavy. Like, really, they are. That, like, the technology is amazing in terms of um, the EQs and all that, right? And spreading the mix and whatnot. That's all fantastic, but we've lost the goddamn. You know what I mean? The heavy. Get what I'm trying to say? The heaviness,
Yeah,
the
but that's
non musical heaviness is gone.
but that's because now music's moved into more of a techno trance type of style. Everything, whether it's rap music, whether it's soul music, whether it's pop music, whatever type of music, everything now is just 4/4. Everything's what's it called? Or what is it? What is it? 120 BPM. Everything's
Oh God,
120
you already
BPM.
said it though. 4/4. My man's got
Yeah,
some
4/4.
music. My man's got some musical background. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
4/4. It's all 4/4 timing. There's no
Everything's 4/4 timing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
used to
no. That
spit.
means that means there's no swing. There's no fucking jazz. There's no fucking. You know what I mean? Rumba. Any of these beats. But which, by the way, before anybody goes crazy in the comment section, Van Halen, right? Who are like kings of West Coast music. Forget heavy metal, right? They're just legends out here, right? In terms of the timing that they used old school swing music timing. They just up to the pace, right? If you really listen seriously, if you listen to "I'm the One," for example, right? It's all swing timing, as in swing music. Big bands, the big band era, I guess they called it back then.
Hey, listen, fellas, man, it's been good, man. But I've got a shot now. I've got a shot. I wish I
Yeah,
could do longer.
definitely. Nice. Thanks for letting
Yeah.
me
I
on anyway,
appreciate you
man.
having me on, man.
No
Appreciate
problem,
it.
man. All right.
Oh man, do your thing, man.
Big up,
When
man.
when next you want when next you want to talk boxing anyway, man? Because I know you deep in the boxing.
Well, when it's time to do a hangout, we'll definitely get another one done. You know
Okay, cool, man.
what I mean? All right.
I have,
Big
All
I
right,
up.
man.
have to I have to imagine beats are going to be around for that Crawford Madrimov card.
Yeah, hopefully so. Yeah, hopefully
All
so.
righty, man. You take care. I appreciate you,
All
beats.
right,
Take
man.
care.
Yeah, big
Peace.
up for that. All right, everybody, hit the the like button if you can for me. Be much appreciated. If I could have done longer, I would have did, but it is what it is. Peace.